Morant with a running start. Elevate! Oh, it dunks! Oh, my goodness!
Tie game in overtime. Gasol will turn his heat. It's gone! Memphis on top. 7-10 remaining. Conley now with three. Count it! A 15-point lead for Memphis. And Blake Griffin gets into it on the floor with Randolph. Hard to tell if there are any punches being thrown under there, but Griffin took acceptance.
Adams going long. Morant! Oh, he hit it! John Morant, insanity!
You gotta be kidding me.
Welcome to Grits and Grinds, a Memphis Grizzlies podcast. My name is Keith Parrish. On today's episode, I am joined by Scotty Pippen Jr., point guard for the Memphis Grizzlies. That interview is coming up in just a few minutes. Scotty and I talked earlier today about his expectations for the season, what it's like playing with Zach Edey, his excitement for the team, and more. But before we get there, there are a few Grizzlies news items to go over. Plus, I want to tell you again about Underdog Fantasy. The start of the NFL season is a fun time to sign up for Underdog Fantasy. You can play daily fantasy football against your friends for cash. You can also pick highers or lowers for your favorite players. And right now, if you sign up with my promo code FBBF, that's FBBF as in Fast Break Breakfast, Underdog will double your opening deposit with up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Plus, they will give you a free pick. So if you want to play fantasy sports for cash, try out Underdog Fantasy and use that promo code FBBF or click the link in this episode's description. Also, as a reminder, if you want bonus content from me, including access to my Grizzlies Slack channel, if you want to play fantasy basketball with me this season, you get all of that at patreon.com/fastbreakbreakfast. Sign up over there and gain access to all of those benefits. All right. Before we get to Scotty, we need to go over some signings the team made, plus the update on Gigi Jackson's injury. Last week, Gigi Jackson underwent surgery for that broken fifth metatarsal, and the team said he would be reevaluated in 3 months. That is essentially what we were expecting. Now, the word reevaluated seems to bother some people, but that's just run-of-the-mill for the Grizzlies and for NBA teams. They're not going to put a specific timetable on it yet. That's the expected recovery time. Hopefully, after 3 months of healing and rehab, Gigi Jackson will be available to play, but they're still going to give themselves some wiggle room with the term reevaluated. And I don't think there's anything nefarious or conspiratorial about that. It's just the way teams do it nowadays. The 3 months of recovery time, which again, we hope that's the short end, that would mean Gigi would come back around December 4th. That's a little bit more than the 11 weeks I thought could be the time frame for the injury. And it means Gigi, if he misses that entire amount, would be unavailable for the first 22 games of the season. It's a tough setback for Gigi, whom I know we are all very excited about. Also, it's a setback, for him and his competition for playing time. Like, we think he's going to be a great player, and he has a bright, promising future based on how young he is and the talents he has already shown. But he was going to need training camp to compete for those minutes, and now he doesn't have that opportunity. With Gigi out, I think the opportunity arises for some other guys, namely Jake LaRavia and John Conchar. Maybe Jalen Wells is able to crack the rotation early in the season while Gigi is still recovering. If you remember back to David Roddy's rookie year, they threw David Roddy right out there. As a rookie, David Roddy was in the rotation from the very, very start. So if they don't go with like John Conchar or Jake LaRavia, I won't be surprised and I won't be bothered if when they go 10 deep, if Jalen Wells is a guy they just put out there. The Grizzlies have options with no Gigi Jackson, and it'll be interesting to see what training camp battles happen and who ends up being in a 10-man rotation on opening night and for the first couple months of the season while Gigi Jackson is out. It also, I think, provides an opportunity for Santi Aldama to possibly not lose any minutes. I think there was a chance Santi on the last year of that rookie deal that he could have possibly lost minutes at backup power forward to Gigi Jackson, because I think they're going to play Gigi at the 4 some this season. Now, at least for the first maybe 2 months of the season, the first 22 games, Santi Aldama doesn't have to worry about that. I mean, they can still play small. You can still see Jake LaRavia at the 4. You could see Marcus Smart at the 4, Vince Williams Jr. at the 4. Like, they might play more small ball, and that might be the adjustment they make with no Gigi Jackson. Like, Luke Kennard could get more minutes. Also, maybe if you have a 10-man rotation, that means they're going to play more guards like Luke Kennard or like today's guest, Scotty Pippen Jr., maybe even Derrick Rose gets in the game when everyone is fully healthy, if there's a 10-man rotation that trends a little bit more towards small ball. Now, looking at the signings the team made in the last week, they filled out their training camp roster. Now, this isn't a official final roster heading into training camp, but the Grizzlies signed 4 players to training camp deals and now have 21 players on the roster. That is the maximum allowed players that a team can carry in the offseason. They do leave that 15th guaranteed roster spot open. The way I see it after these signings, this means the Grizzlies are going just to leave that 15th roster spot open. I mean, maybe someone becomes available if they want to add to that 15th roster spot, and it's not a big deal to waive any of these guys that they signed. Eventually, they're all going to get waived. The Exhibition 10 contracts, these training camp signings, are to bring guys in both to help out in training camp, and then these are players who are probably likely going to end up on the Memphis hustle at some point. Like the guys they brought in, they brought back Malginha Pereira. The Memphis hustle actually traded for his G League rights, and then he gets a contract again. They also brought in Yuki Kawamura. We've known about this for a while. I've talked about him many times this offseason on the show. He's a very short guard. You may have seen him playing in the Olympics for Japan. He had some huge games there, especially in the game against France, where they almost upset France but lost in overtime. So Malginha Pereira, he is probably going to be on the hustle this year. I like him. If you've listened to the show for any amount of time, I was a big fan of what he did. He, I think, could actually help the main squad this year if a two-way spot were to open up. I like him as an energy big off the bench. I think he's an interesting player. So you have Malginha Pereira, Yuki Kawamura. Then they signed Mie Oni. This guy actually has some NBA experience. He played at Yale and was a second-round draft pick back in 2019. He's played 80 career games for the Jazz. The most interesting stat I see about him is of his 140 career field goal attempts, 115 have been three-pointers. That's 82% of his field goal attempts in the NBA have been three-pointers. Oh, and he only makes about 33% of those three-point attempts. And then finally, the fourth guy they signed is Armando Bacot. He is a rookie 24-year-old big. He played 5 years at UNC, so he will be there for at least some of training camp. And the entire 21-man roster right now, you have the 14 main roster guys with guaranteed deals. Then you have 3 two-way players, Scotty Pippen Jr., Jay Huff, and Cam Spencer. And then these 4 guys on training camp deals, Malginha Pereira, Yuki Kawamura, Mie Oni, and Armando Bacot. And that will be the team, I'm pretty sure, that begins training camp when that starts in just about 3 weeks. And then there will be a preseason game a little bit more than 1 month from today. Now, coming up later this week, if you're in the Middle Tennessee area, the Grizzlies caravan is coming to Nashville, and Scotty Pippen Jr. will be a part of that. That's one of the reasons he's agreed to come on the show today. He will be helping host a basketball camp for kids this Saturday in Nashville, and then he will be doing a meet and greet at the Nashville Sounds game on Saturday night. That meet and greet will last from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. So get there early if you want to do the meet and greet. Also, by the way, I will be there to say hello to all of you. If you're a Grits and Grinds listener and you come up and say hi to me, I got a little present for you. I'm going to give you a signed Vince Williams Jr. rookie card. I think I have enough. I'm not going to run out. So if you're at the Sounds game, you're coming to say hi to Scotty Pippen Jr., make sure you also say hi to me, and I will give you a Vince Williams Jr. basketball card. And with that, we are ready to bring on Scotty Pippen Jr., and we'll do that right after this short break. I'm joined right now by Scotty Pippen Jr. Scotty, how are you doing? How's the offseason going?
I'm doing well, man. It's been a big offseason for me. I spent a lot of time in Memphis and, ready to get this season started.
Have you been in Memphis since Summer League?
Yeah, I took a little time off. I want to say probably 3 weeks at home, and then pretty much for the most part, I've been back in Memphis working on training.
So what is your daily routine during the offseason as you train?
Yeah, come in the morning, get treatment, work on my body, have weights lifting after that. And then we'll have pretty much skill work, individual work. Some days we play pickup, live stuff. And then for the most part, come back at night, just get some light shots up. And
are any of the other guys there? Have you been doing any playing with teammates?
Yeah, a lot of guys are starting to come back and funnel back in more of recently. Pretty much earlier in the summer, it was the younger guys and, the guys playing summer league. So guys are starting to come back in more. And
you guys aren't doing any of these social media clips like Ja and Zach? You don't want to run anything with like you and Jay Huff, put it on social media, let it go off?
Nah, me and Jay Huff done played enough. We have enough film together, so we haven't done that yet.
Okay. I think you got a couple. You get an and one on him at Summer League. There was one highlight I know. I haven't saved it on my computer of you going up over him.
Yeah, no, Jay Huff's my guy though. We recently played together last year, so that's definitely my guy though. So I'm glad he's over here.
Well, there you go. So at Summer League, it was a very successful Summer League, I feel like. I mean, the team almost won the title in Vegas. In my opinion, you were snubbed for Summer League MVP. I feel like it could have been you. But what things are you hoping to carry over from Summer League into this upcoming season?
I would just say the way I was able to play defense, to continue to work on that, my shot-making ability, my abilities to run a team and just control the floor. I think I did a good job of just showing I was a leader for the Summer League team and, showing little things I could contribute to this year for the team. So, I definitely thought I was snubbed as well. So
there we go.
Still stings, but,
I mean, maybe Gigi Jackson could have an argument, but it was you. I don't know how you didn't win it. I was pretty upset about that. Are there things, so at Summer League, you have the ball in your hands a lot. You're scoring a lot more. Are there things from that you hope to take to your game? Because when it comes to the regular season, you're probably going to be more of a contributor or like a smaller role. So like, are there specific items of your game, maybe beyond just like defense or something that you really think this is where I'm going to shine for the main squad?
I think just as an individual, I think I've always been able to adapt to who I'm playing with. Last year, playing with the Grizz, I didn't have, the ball always in my hand. Sometimes I play with Dez. Sometimes Jaren would even bring the ball up. And, I'll just be a spot-up shooter. So, whatever my role is this year, I'm ready to, give it my best and do whatever it takes for the team to win.
So at Summer League, you were, I guess, probably the first person who got a chance on the Grizzlies to play with Zach Edey. What was that experience like, and what do you think Zach's going to bring to the Grizzlies this year?
Yeah, Zach was great in Summer League. I've never played with someone of his size or even the center that dominant. So, I watched him a lot in college, seen his game, but, definitely playing with him, seeing how he's able to move and screen and just run the floor. He definitely impressed me in just the little things that, maybe not the average person would see, just the way he plays. He's a super smart player. So I think he's going to fit right in here. I think he's going to help our team a lot. Just the little stuff he plays, little plays he makes. So, I'm definitely excited for this year with Zach.
What are those little things? What are some of those little things that the average person that I might not be seeing when I watch him play?
I always say the biggest thing for me is seeing the way he screens. Like sometimes he screens your man and then he'll like run to the court and screen his own man and give our guards, alley to get wide open layups. His ability to run the floor, I think that was a big concern of him coming out of college. I'm not sure, but people thought of his size, he was going to be too slow. But, in Summer League and the pickup runs we've had, he's been one of the faster guys on the court, getting up and down the court. And, he's been shooting the three well. So I think that's definitely.
No, all right, let's talk about that. Is the 3-pointer for real? Is he going to take him? I've seen Steven Adams knock down a bunch in a row, but he never takes him in the games. Is Edey going to take him in the games?
I think that the coaching staff has confidence in him to take him. I think he will take him. He's been shooting it well. And pickup, he's having the confidence to shoot those shots. So, he's been working on it. So we'll see.
Nice. That's, I think, something maybe we're all hoping for as Grizzlies fans. Speaking of the screening, I don't know if you remember this. There was a play at Summer League in the first game in Utah. I think it was one of the first plays of the game, but Zach comes and screens for you, and your defender just got stuck on him. And there was like 20 feet of space. I mean, maybe I exaggerate, 15 feet of space. No one was close to you, and you were able just to go into the lane, hit a short jumper. I mean, maybe Walker Kessler was way too deep on the drop, but still, like, is that just illustrative of what he's going to do for you and everybody else on the team who has the ball in their hands?
Yeah, I think that's a great example. I know exactly what play you're talking about. So I was even surprised when I came off that screen. I was kind of looking around for my man and realized how open I was. So I definitely think that's going to happen a lot this year, especially with Zach, just the ability and his size to do that. I think is going to help our team a lot.
So GG Jackson also had a big summer league. Have you been in communication with him at all? Do you know anything about his injury or how he's doing right now?
Yeah, DJ's good. He's actually out here rehabbing for his injury. He's in good spirits. So, unfortunate what happened to him, but, it's another opportunity for him to get stronger. And, he's still going to be working on his game. So I think when he comes back, he'll be ready to go.
That sounds good. So looking ahead to training camp, well, or just let's go back to last year. So last year when the Grizzlies picked you up on that two-way deal, they did it basically because Ja Morant was hurt. They needed ball handling. So you didn't get the chance probably to play with Ja, but now going into training camp, you're going to have that opportunity. What does that mean for you as a point guard, being able to play with somebody like that, to practice with somebody like that? And then also having like Derrick Rose there, a former MVP, to have like the point guard room is just like you and these guys. What are you going to take from that experience, and what are you looking forward to about that?
Yeah, I think this point guard room has been great for me. Derrick is someone that, I grew up, as a little kid going to Chicago Bulls games. And, Derrick's always been cool with my dad. So, it's definitely a full circle moment to be in the locker room with someone that I used to go and watch games of him playing. And definitely he gave me a lot of advice last year, just little things he saw. And, he's one of the, best point guards. So you always got to take that information. And especially with Ja, I'm excited for that. Just playing with someone that explosive, that good, is going to be fun for both of us.
So what does Derrick, or what can you tell me more about what Derrick actually does for the locker room? Like, he didn't get to play that many games for the Grizzlies, but he's supposed to be the OG leader helping out. Like, so what is he doing for the team in his leadership role?
Yeah, Derrick's definitely the OG leader. He tells you, especially for the point guard, I'll say like little stuff on the court, when to take certain shots, how to, maneuver in the pick and roll. And I would just say that that's the main thing, just letting us know stuff he sees if he's not playing, because he's always engaged on the bench.
So when you think about your game, I think about when I watch you play, I think some of your strengths, obviously on defense, you force a lot of turnovers. You get to the rim, you get by guys, you get to the foul line a lot. I think in college, you led the NCAA in free throws one season. But like, is there something beyond those things that you're really making a priority this offseason to work on, something that you think is going to help you level up?
I would just say to staying consistent with my shooting. Last year I shot 40 plus from three. So I would just say building on that. Like you said, playing with Ja, I'm gonna have to play off the ball sometimes. So just knowing that being able to space the floor, that's gonna keep me on the court and just playing defense. Um, I think I'm finally starting to get credit for my defense as of recently. People have always said I was too small to play defense, but I think that this year just doing that is shooting the three ball well and just playing defense is gonna be my niche to stay on the court.
So you played college basketball at Vanderbilt. I live in Nashville. I grew up going to a lot of Vanderbilt games, but also in Nashville, I organize some Grizzlies fan groups. We have Grizzlies watch parties, and there are a ton of Grizzlies fans in Nashville. What does it mean to you as someone, not just the Nashville connection, but someone on the Grizzlies? What does it mean to you to have fan groups in other cities that are cheering for the Grizzlies?
Yeah, I think it's great. Something I've always wanted is to have a fan base. I think every young hooper wants that. So to have definitely my Nashville family, I think is great. I haven't been back there, unfortunately, because, I've always been in the summers busy with summer leagues and traveling and seeing my family, that I haven't had time to go back and pop in Vanderbilt. But I'm definitely excited to do so soon.
What was one of your favorite memories from Vanderbilt, from your time there?
I had so many great times. I've never really thought about this question. I would just say this, being around my teammates. I feel like, when you finally go away from home, it's definitely a lot of highs and lows. So I would just say it's being around my teammates, being around my coaches. You know, some people I still got relationships with this day. You know, I still talk to a lot of my Vanderbilt coaches, like my assistants and stuff to this day, like on a weekly basis. So just the relationships and the people I met there still touch me.
You still talk to Aaron Nesmith? Because he had an unbelievable season last year.
Yeah, no, I definitely still like Aaron. That's my guy. So definitely still close to him.
So you're coming to this Grizzlies Caravan event at the Nashville Sounds game this Saturday, September 14th, to do a meet and greet. So you're saying this is the first time you've been back to hang out, basically?
Yeah, it's his first time. So I've tried to make time. You know, last year when I got to Memphis, you know, I tried to make time to go to a game, but you know, with the schedule and stuff, I was never able to go to a home game, and
yeah,
so it's unfortunate.
And so then the team is hosting training camp just outside of Nashville. Do you have some kind of leadership role where you help show the team around at all in the city?
You know, some of the staff, they've asked me for a few recommendations and stuff like that, restaurants and stuff. So I definitely got to deep dive and find what places I used to go eat and give them some.
Have you given them anything? Did anything come to mind where you're telling them to go?
No, nothing came to mind yet. I definitely got to look a little deeper. You know, I kind of forgot. It's been a little minute, but when they send me the list, I'll definitely find what to pick.
That sounds good. That's great. What do you do when you're not playing basketball? What are your interests if you had those 3 weeks off, or what do you do for fun when you're not at the gym?
I picked up golf. I would say that's the main thing right now. You know, my dad kind of had pushed me when I was a kid to play golf. I never really liked it. I thought it was kind of boring, but you know, being in Memphis and, you know, after practice, not really knowing what to do. Besides, I play a lot of video games too, but, you know, I kind of want to stay away from that. I picked up golf, so I've been playing that a lot in video games. I would say the two main things.
What
and
video game?
Video games, I play Madden. I've been playing college football a lot, Call of Duty, stuff like that. So.
No 2K?
2K is cool. I haven't really been playing that, but you know, since I'm on the game, I might have to try it out though.
That's right. All right. Final thing. Just what's the one thing you're either looking forward to the most about this season, or that you're the most excited about this upcoming season for the Grizzlies?
I would just say my first full NBA season. You know, my past 2 seasons, you know, there was a lot of time in the G League and, you know, not really feeling like I was on the team. And I would say this year, just going into the season where I finally feel welcomed, I feel a part of a team, feel part of something special. So I would say I'm just excited for the season, just to begin.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And I know the whole Grizzlies fan base, we're extremely excited to see this squad get out there and win some games this year. Well, Scotty, thank you for making time to talk with me and come on. Best of luck this season. And hopefully you'll be able to come on again and talk Grizzlies with me sometime in the future.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you for having me.